Have you ever felt something brush against your arm only to turn around and see no one? Or maybe you were driving down the street when you thought you saw someone standing on the sidewalk watching you pass by. When you looked over, though, all you saw was an empty road. If you answered yes, then you have experienced a phantom sense. For some, these sensations can be scary, while for others, they are just plain weird. In most cases, it is difficult to explain why these things happen. But there are several theories out there that may shed some light on these unexplained feelings. So here are 6 times when you feel a hug that never happened. Number 6. The phantom limb. Have you ever lost a part of your body? If so, did you know that you may still be able to feel sensations in that missing limb even after it's gone? This strange phenomenon is known as a phantom limb, and it is actually quite common. It has been reported that anywhere between 60 to 80% of amputees experience these sensations. Not only can they feel the phantom limb, but some people also report being aware of other things such as phantom smells or even phantom heartbeats. But what causes these sensations? Well, scientists believe that it has to do with the brain and nervous system. Before we go into detail about how this works exactly, it is important to note that there are 2 different types of phantom limbs. One is known as a spontaneous or automatic sensation, and the other is called a triggered allodynia. Automatic sensations are those that occur without any input from the outside world. They can feel like tingling, itching, burning pins and needles, or cramping. On the other hand, triggered allodynia is when you feel something in your phantom limb after something in your environment stimulates a nerve in your body. For example, if someone strokes your cheek, you may feel it in your phantom arm. Even worse, some people who have lost a limb can experience pain in that missing body part. And in some cases, the pain can be excruciating. Although scientists still do not fully understand why some people experience pain in their phantom limbs, research suggests that it has to do with the way the brain processes pain signals. According to a study published in the journal Neuron, the brain appears to be unable to distinguish between sensations that come from our actual body and those that come from our imagination. This means that if you imagine touching a hot stove, your brain will send pain signals to your spinal cord, and you will actually feel pain in your missing limb. The good news is that there are treatments available that can help reduce or even eliminate phantom limb pain. These include medications, physical therapy, and even surgery. And now for number 5, but first it's shout-out time. I want to give a big thank you to some supporters for supporting this channel. Be sure to stay tuned for more content. Number 5. Out-of-body experiences. Out-of-body experiences, or OBEs, have been reported throughout history by people from all walks of life. These experiences can be brief or they can last for hours. During an OBE, a person may feel like they are floating above their body, or like they are watching themselves from a distance. Some people even report seeing and hearing things that would otherwise be impossible for them to perceive. For example, they may be able to see what is happening in another room, or they may hear sounds that are coming from a source unknown to them. There are many different theories out there as to what causes OBEs. Some believe that they are a form of astral projection, while others believe that they are simply the result of oxygen deprivation to the brain. Whatever the cause, OBEs can be extremely powerful experiences that can change a person's perspective on life forever. During an OBE, it is not uncommon for people to feel a sense of euphoria or peace. They may feel disconnected from the stress and problems of everyday life and instead feel a sense of oneness with the universe. This feeling can be so intense that it can bring tears to a person's eyes. Number 4. Déjà vu. Have you ever had a feeling that you've already experienced what is happening to you now? If so, you've probably experienced déjà vu, which means already seen in French. Déjà vu is a French phrase that literally translates to already seen. However, the phenomenon itself has been described much differently across cultures and throughout history. In some cultures, people believe that déjà vu is a sign from the future, while in others it is seen as a warning from beyond the grave. In reality, déjà vu is simply an optical illusion that occurs when your brain processes information faster than it is able to perceive it. As a result, you may feel like you are experiencing something for the first time, when in actuality your brain has already processed the information and is simply playing it back to you. Déjà vu can be a strange and unsettling feeling, but it is important to remember that it is not dangerous. In fact, it is often a sign that your brain is working properly and processing information at a rapid speed. However, if you begin to feel anxious or uneasy, it is best to focus on your surroundings and take deep breaths until the feeling passes. Number 3. Déjà vu's evil twin, the foreshadowing. While déjà vu may be a relatively common phenomenon, there is a lesser-known similar experience that can be much more disturbing. It is called foreshadowing, and it is essentially the opposite of déjà vu. When you experience foreshadowing, you have the feeling that what is happening to you now is going to happen in the future. For example, let's say you have a dream about winning the lottery. You wake up the next morning feeling excited and think, wow, maybe I am going to win the lottery today. Then later in the day, you buy a lottery ticket and win. In this scenario, you experienced foreshadowing. Some people believe that foreshadowing is simply a form of selective attention. This means that you are more likely to notice and remember things that fit your expectations. In the case of winning the lottery, you may have had a dream about it, but you didn't pay attention to it until after you bought the ticket. Others believe that foreshadowing is a form of precognition, or the ability to see into the future. There is no scientific evidence to support this claim, but some people swear by their foreshadowing abilities. 2. The grip of anxiety. Anxiety is a normal and even necessary part of life. It helps us prepare for and cope with the demands of everyday living. However, when anxiety becomes excessive or irrational, it can be debilitating. This is because anxiety can cause a number of physical symptoms, including increased heart rate, sweating, and difficulty breathing. These symptoms can be so severe that they interfere with your ability to function normally. However, there is hope for those who suffer from anxiety. There are a number of things that you can do to help alleviate your symptoms. One is to engage in regular physical activity. Exercise has been shown to have a number of benefits for anxiety, including reducing stress hormones, improving sleep, and increasing feelings of well-being. Another thing you can do is learn how to relax your body. This can be done through techniques such as deep breathing exercises or progressive muscle relaxation. Finally, make sure to get enough sleep. Sleep deprivation can make anxiety symptoms worse, so it is important to make sleep a priority. By taking these steps, you can learn to control your anxiety and live a more fulfilling life. Number 1. Shared sensory experiences. Shared sensory experiences, or SSSEs, are exactly what they sound like. They are sensory experiences that are shared between 2 or more people. For example, let's say you and a friend are walking down the street when you both suddenly feel a cold breeze on your skin. You look at each other and both nod your heads in agreement. In this scenario, you are sharing a sensory experience. SSSEs are actually quite common, and they can occur through our senses of sight, smell, touch, taste, and hearing. One theory as to why SSSEs happen is that our brains are constantly trying to make sense of the world around us. To do this, we rely on our senses to gather information about our environment. Our brains then use this information to form a model of the world. However, sometimes our brains make mistakes. This can happen when we are tired or stressed, or when we are exposed to a lot of sensory information all at once. When our brains make these mistakes, we may see or hear things that are not really there. And if someone else is close enough to us and under similar circumstances, they may experience the same thing. If you have ever felt a hug that never happened, then you have likely experienced one of these 6 things. Each of these phenomena can be explained by science, although in some cases the science is still developing. What do you think of these explanations? Do you have any personal experiences that you would like to share? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on all of our future videos.